Hi guys, and welcome back! I've been hard at work because I really wanted to add a push feature into the game. I wanted to add two different ways to throw the other player. One would be a shove, where you can just move them a bit, or give them that shove off the edge. The other one would be a push, where you and the other player push against each other to try and move one of you off of a platform. I've implemented the push already, which was far harder than I thought, because there were actually a lot more systems involved than I first anticipated. I first had to draw the character in a pushing state so that you can actually see that he should be pushing the other player. I had a few attempts over a few days, but I finally ended up with this one here. I then drew him walking in that pose so that he can actually walk, and I redrew it for the second player, which was far easier thanks to the Replace Colors tool in Sprite, which is the pixel art program I use. You can access it by using Shift-R, and then you can say what color should be replaced by what other color. After I had drawn all the animations for both, I imported them into Godot and got them set up. After I'd done that, I realized some very odd bugs in the game, like jumping the wrong height and the camera not working as it was supposed to. Strange, I said to myself while fixing them. I thought I'd already squashed all these bugs in the latest version. And I did. Because I want to show you some of the more funny bugs in the game, I keep copies of older versions of the game on my computer so I can access them at a later date. And as it turns out, I've been trying to fix an older version of the game where there was still the old camera system and some mechanics weren't actually ironed out yet. After I then switched back to the newest version, re-imported the sprites and put on some good music, I got back to work trying to add the pushing. I first added a Area 2D in front of the player to check if the second player is even there and available to push. This took a sec because I couldn't just use the normal inbuilt function of the Area 2D. No. I had to try and figure out some different way because I didn't want to add a variable determining if you can push or not. So I used a different inbuilt function of the Area 2D, which checks if the field it should be monitoring is empty. If it isn't, meaning the second player is there, you can start pushing. Once pushing, you need to hold down the button which moves you toward the second player. This moves both you and the second player in that direction and plays the push walking animation. Once the second player also does this, it gets interesting. Each player has a set variable called strength. If your strength is higher than the strength of the second player, you will move him along at a rate of your strength minus his strength. If the second player is stronger, he'll push you along at a rate of his strength minus your strength. I got back to work adding a way to increase your strength, and I've chosen that I would add a collectible which would do this. What collectible would that be, you ask? Well, beans, of course! Firstly, my head went straight to fart power, but I decided to put a pin in that. These beans have been made by Blitz Powder. Now that we have the beans, I added an Area 2D and some code, and now they will increase your strength, meaning that you can push the other players even faster. After adding this and feeling on a roll, I started working on a way to get out of the pushing, except of one player falling off a cliff, of course. And I came up with a stamina system, where if you run out of stamina, you can't push back on the other player. And if both of them run out of stamina, the push ends. I had wanted to make more progress, and I really wanted to add all the art I'd already made, but sadly the pushing was far more work than I thought, and I didn't manage to make much else. Nevertheless, I'm happy with the progress, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Have a good rest of your day, and goodbye!